In my travels through cinema's cult classics, I've encountered my fair share of odd films.
That's odd.
From the haunting brutality of Strange Days to the beanie madness of The Who's Tommy. But few films come close to the spacey oddity of 1976's The Man Who Fell to Earth.
When grass was green and grain so yellow.
What the heck is this?
David Bowie brings his otherworldly presence to the screen in this iconic cult classic.
Do you like David Bowie?
This is one of those films you watch with the volume low and the remote control close at hand, lest your roommates overhear and assume you're watching something unsavory.
What are you watching?
Seriously, you get the impression that director Nicolas Roeg had hours of raunchy B-roll and thought, damn it, where am I going to put this stuff? Then he started stuffing it into random places for the hell of it. Oh look, we're staring at the camera now. How romantic. Can we get more milk for heaven's sake? I need these splashes to splash. This is the proto-Fight Club. Only instead of brief shots of some bloke's manhood spliced in, we get long sequences of vaguely explained romance and lots of nudity. Goons throwing a central character off a building. Cut to a nude man diving into a swimming pool in slow motion. Watch as he swims toward his equally naked lady friend. Your main protagonist enjoying a night at the opera. Cut to a couple filming an oddly aggressive porno. Look at these two lovebirds we've barely just met. They embrace, and so on.
What the hell for?
This is a classic. How many stars did Roger Ebert give this? Oh dear God. Anyways, on to the story. Bowie plays Thomas Jerome Newton.
Thomas Jerome Newton.
A suavely dressed alien who crash lands in New Mexico. Like any business-savvy extraterrestrial, he quickly uses his wacky and advanced technology to amass oodles of wealth.
$300 million?
His goal? To construct a spaceship to transport water back to his drought-stricken home planet, Anthea. Perhaps for the best, the film doesn't spend much time exploring the logistics of Newton's watery mission. Seriously, Thomas, how much water could you possibly fit in that tiny little spaceship? You were doomed from the start, mate. Those poor Antheans. Based on the 1963 novel of the same name, the film follows Bowie, Newton, as he acclimates to the strangeness of his new home.
Boy, you're really hooked on water, aren't you? One of these days you ought to try one of these. Am I talking too much?
Along the way, he meets Mary Lou, a lonely young lady who introduces him to the joys of humanhood, such as church-going, alcohol, and the technique of intimate body contact, sometimes called sex. No, but seriously, I wasn't kidding earlier. This film has a lot of psychedelic sex scenes, often juxtaposed with cuts to violence and bizarre samurai dramas, or whatever the heck this is. Moving on. As Newton's confidants begin to suspect his alien nature, his addictions to alcohol and television become crippling. We witness his existential crisis as his identity and planet-saving aspirations tragically unravel.
Let's talk.
I'm so lonesome all the time.
Don't turn on those damn TVs. Come on, Tommy. Talk to me.
Really, at its core, the film is a character study that uses science fiction to explore themes like alienation, loneliness, and the corrupting influence of society. And while it's quite long at over 2 hours, it's not that bad for a movie that came out nearly 50 years ago. It's sort of the 70s equivalent of that strange Scarlett Johansson film where she's consuming lonely men in strip mall parking lots, or something.
What is going on?
Lots of existential dread is shown in long shots of Bowie staring off into the distance. It's one of those surreal movies that doesn't take itself seriously while taking itself very seriously, if you know what I mean. There's a tidy bit of camp baked into this cult classic, and I assume it's one of those films that grows on you with multiple watches. Maybe Ebert was right about everything. Maybe this is a 3-star classic. Maybe Home Alone 3 is better than the first two. Ugh, okay, definitely not that. But this movie was more enjoyable than I expected. Anyways, on to the next one.